Good morning, everyone. Becky Lynn here, and I'm attempting to do episode 2 of my AutobiVLOGraphy, A Novel Life, working title. And I'm trying to figure out where to jump in here. I think I'll I think I'll start with what's going on in my current life, and then we'll kind of jump back and forth. So right now I'm 61, and as I said, and I'm living in, staying temporarily with in Centralia with my daughter, and getting ready to get my RV out on the road and live as a vagabond and the van life. And I started about 2.5 months ago. I guess it was the second week in January. My oldest daughter put a profile on Plenty of Fish, the dating site, and had a lot of luck. She found a great guy that I just adore him, and he's very good for her. And so they've been together a year this Easter and seem to be very good for each other. So I decided after 14 years to get back out there. And boy, has the world not changed at all. Dating, it hasn't changed at all. I'm 61, and it hasn't changed since I was 16, because pretty much, first of all, I put my profile up there. I put up one picture to begin with, and it's a picture that's on my Facebook page, and a picture I used for my bio, and I was shocked, like within the first 24 hours. This is a girl who could not get a date to prom, and I was shocked with the number of hits I had, and I couldn't keep up, and I'm baffled because I'm just baffled at the number of responses that I had. And well, first of all, a lot of them were scammers. I mean, you have to be so careful now. But I've really learned the pros. And ladies, let me tell you something. And gentlemen, let me tell you something, because there's just as many scammers for the men as there are for the women. And they're after people of our age. They're after the people who are potentially lonely. They're single. They're in our generation. And we are the prime targets. And let me give you some, I'll just clue you in on the clues to look for. So they'll go after your email and your phone number right away. They will use incorrect grammar and so, and from what I understand, from what I've researched, they do that because if you'll overlook that, then that makes you an easy target. If you're willing to overlook incorrect grammar and punctuation, then that makes you an easy target. So often what they'll do is not I am Robert or John, it's am Robert John, and their prose is often the same, so you can kind of cut and paste the prose, and so cut the prose, paste it in a Google search, and it may take you to a scammer website, because these are guys that and girls that sit in cubicles with the different pictures, and they just juggle. This is their job. They sit in cubicles and they get money. And for the women, they either work on oil rigs and or work somewhere in the oil or petroleum business, or they are with peacekeeping troops or in the medical field. Afghanistan, particular peacekeeping troops, they often, their first name and second name are both first names. So it'll be like Tom Edward or Drew John or something like that. They're usually widowed with one or more children. And it's real easy. If you are even suspicious, a good thing to do is to test them. And you can say, ask them questions about where they are. So they'll say, like, say, where are you? And they'll say, Texas. And I say, oh, where in Texas? Because I'm in Texas. I happen to be visiting Texas right now. Where are you? And they'll say, Los Angeles. Really? Los Angeles, Texas. That's interesting. Or a lot of times what I'll do is say, hey, why don't you send me a picture of you with your finger touching your nose? Well, they can't do it because what they do is steal other people's photographs. And it's so ridiculous because a lot of times you can do an image search on Google, and I've caught them using like some of my favorite chefs' photos or a celebrity chef or different people that I know of. They'll use their photographs. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Or more than one scammer will use the same photograph with a different name. I'm like, oh, come on, guys. And so anyway, just beware of scammers. But that's what I ran into. I have blocked, in the little over 2 months that I've been on there, I have blocked upwards of 200 scammers. Also, what I've blocked is, how about a drink and sex? And while I applaud them for their honesty and forthrightness, that's not exactly what I'm after. I'm not after a long-term commitment right off. Definitely not looking for that right off. What I'd like to do is just do some casual dating, because every relationship I've had in my life has been so disastrous that I'd like to just kind of casually date and get to know, you know, what I like and what I don't like, and kind of start from scratch again and figure out what it is I need. I feel kind of like the runaway bride. Like at this point, I don't even know how I like my eggs. So I'm just not eager to jump into anything permanent. I just would like to date and get out there and socialize. And so, but unfortunately, to a lot of guys, what that means is get out there and check out the goods. So I have quite a collection of male equipment photos. I have no idea why they think that works. My response to them generally is, you could send me an absolutely stunning picture of a Rolls Royce. How do I know it runs? You know, I don't know. Does that work for women? What I hear from them is that it does for a lot of women. Apparently, there are a lot of women on these dating sites that's all they're looking for. There's a lot of women that want to be, that are looking for one-night stands. And at this point, I don't know if that's true or if that's a ploy that the men are using to make it easy to hit on this, but they're not hitting on this. So anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I have been on quite a few dates, and it's fun. I am learning, and I'm kind of chronicling them in my wasn't chronicles. Becky's wasn't chronicles, like it wasn't him and it wasn't him and it wasn't him. And they are very amusing. Wait for the book to come out on Amazon. Very, very, very funny stories. And but nice gentlemen, for the most part, very, very nice gentlemen with their own histories and their own stories, just like I have. and with wacky women, and so everybody has their own history. So that's what I've been up to, and along with my writing, I was able to read my Clive children's book the end of 2 weeks ago to a group of 325 children, and that was really exciting for me because I've never been able to read in public without getting very, very sick. So there were 3 groups that totaled 325. The largest group was 125 kids with all their teachers and the librarian. And so I consider that a huge victory for me because I'm extremely, while I come off as extroverted, and I can speak in public afterwards, I usually have to cocoon for a week. It makes me extremely anxious, and I did really well. And so I think I'm kind of curing my public phobia, my social anxieties, and that's good. Because I intend to really get out there and market the hell out of my stuff. So I have to do that. I am working on, I have 3 sequels to the Clive series, the children's series outlined, and I'm working on them. Also a series of YouTube videos. I've come up with a jingle. I wrote a jingle, not musical at all, but I wrote a little jingle and had some of my favorite kids sing it. So I'm kind of editing. I'm learning some software to edit that jingle, had them sing it, and so I'm kind of taking little clips and editing them together. So I will be presenting, that jingle, and then I'm going to present different words that are on the Clive website, www.clivesdrive, without an apostrophe, clivesdrive.com. And every Monday, I present a new grand, crazy word for kids. It's a lot of fun, and I think the schools are starting to use that website to teach kids new great words to add to their arsenal. And so go there and check it out. And so I'm working on that website and doing, let's see, my AutobiVLOGraphy, which I am in the process of writing in a hardback version and as well a novelized, fictionalized version of that. So those are my writing projects.